Hey everybody, this little thing that I'm putting in here is because for 2 months I didn't have internet. And I'd been pre-recording all of these Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. back in January and February. So when you see new content, I've got my haircut, things look a little different. But in these old videos, the set looks a little different because it is. And my hair's really long, so if anybody wonders what the hell is wrong with these videos, why do they look like this? Well, they always look like this, but I look different, the set looks different, and so I find it. I was rewatching them and found it a little jarring, and thought I should explain that for the foreseeable next like 13 or 14, probably 15 episodes of my Agents of Shield review, we're still gonna look like the guy with the long hair and the and the set's gonna be different until I start recording some of the newer Agent Old Shield new reviews. That's about halfway through season 4. So that's it. Enjoy the review, and we'll see y'all later. Also, because of things that happened, I haven't had the time to make any of the fake commercials that I like to put in, but we will be getting back to that as well as soon as I can make the time to put my head together for fun stuff to put inside these. So have a good day and enjoy the review. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 la 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 ba 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 da 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 ba 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 ba. Ba 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 doo, doo, doo. All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews. Sorry, inside joke in my head. Welcome back to Old Shield New Reviews, the show where I go back and take a look at the episodes that I never reviewed the first time around to keep the show alive in our hearts. Maybe give Disney Plus a reason to somehow keep some of these characters alive. I don't know. It's just fun to talk about. And also really fun to rewatch these episodes for the first time they aired. I have not seen these episodes from season 3 since they aired way back when the year Captain America Civil War came out. Actually, the year previous, too. It's one of the things about reviewing all these, and you got 22 of them to do a year. It's like, wow. Like if I was only doing these once a week. Currently, I'm kind of uh, recording these a lot fast, not releasing them right away, and it's a much more satisfying experience waiting week to week for 22 weeks. Think about that, man. With COVID happening right now still, and everything kind of being on shutdown, a lot of shows are have been shrunk down. You got to let on limited series. Getting through a 22 episode show that's like at least 40 minutes long is pretty daunting, even though, for a lot of people, you have the time to binge all this, but with a 40-hour work week. Anyway, we're talking about episode 19, which means after this, we've only got 3 episodes left, that includes the 2-part finale. And this is called Failed Experiments. And like I said in the last video, right, you get this block of episodes that is just downbeat after downbeat. How much worse can it get? And it's like, holy crap, I thought last time, whoa, that's as bad as it can get, right? Wrong. Wrong. Because this one, I forgot. In fact, even up to the end of this episode, I thought that at the very least, this is where we get Daisy back. Wrong. And that really crushed me inside. I was like, oh no. Because I forgot how this ended. I thought that the ending was going to be, well, at least you did this to get her back. No, what this episode though does is at the very end. No, it doesn't even do that. Never mind. was gonna say there was like this hope, but no, it just really shows what Alveus's like hold on someone really looks like. And it also makes you wonder, is Daisy telling the truth when she talks about how she feels about this? And we'll get to that too. But we did get, as you could see behind me, we did get that really cool origin story of Alveus. Of he was an indigenous person thousands of years ago, assumedly somewhere like in like South America, Central America, taken like thousands of other people onto Kree ships and experimented on. This is in the comics. They came, they made a bunch of people their own soldiers, and then they do what they do. The Kree come and they eradicate what they made. They go from place to place to place like we're all their own playthings. And people, in the 90s and the 80s, and 70s, right, when they talk about UFO abductions, and anybody out there who believes they've been abducted, this is not a diss on you or anything like that. But back then, when people talk about them, the experiments that have been put on them, a lot of jokes are made about probing, right? This is a lot worse than probing, what happens to these people that make them. And, it, like they talk about, like sometimes your failed experiments make miracles, right? The thing that is unintended is what made Alveus and kind of made him a cancer, and which is why the Kree were, attempting to get rid of him. Now, that doesn't excuse the way that they do things. The Kree are, in the comics too, just these warlike people that in the comics have been at like a billion-year war with the Skrulls. But he is offering, Alveus at this beginning is offering this reward to the last people that are left in Hydra. Reward is a fun way of putting it. They're basically all that's left after, Coulson's strike against them with Talbot to knock out all of Hydra. These people kind of were able to slink out the back door, but instead of going out, they went out the back door thinking they were escaping, and instead they walked right into the hands of basically a Kree god. So, an inhuman god for all intents and purposes, but he really isn't. He's just immensely powerful. We also get more Lincoln in this. And again, as I've tried to defend the character, when you rewatch an episode, you can't just quite defend him all the way. And he really is. Even like the other characters just don't like him. Kind of like James. Pardon me. Where he just... I feel bad for the actor. Because, he's there to do a job. And he's there to be the love interest to Daisy, but he's one of the last Inhumans we have left on the show. And he just is written to be this brash, annoying, lovesick as hell, bad-tempered, who happens to be a doctor. How many doctors do you know have, look, I'm sure they have tempers, but like, when you go into a doctor's office, right, if you met Lincoln and he acted like he does on the show, you'd be like, no, I need a second opinion right now. But he's been written this way, and I feel like the actor gets a bad rap because he's doing what's on the page. And he's written to be unlikable. He's written to be, like, why would Daisy even want to be with this guy? Because his over concern about her mixed with his feelings about authority and things like that. None of these things are going to save Lincoln. And it's kind of tragic because, if you know the series and how this character ends up, it's like they really ran him into the ground so that when what happens, it's supposed to be heroic, but you've had so much animosity built up towards this character to just be annoyed with him that it kind of loses a little bit of its impact. Because basically, and again, if you... Spoilers for the very end of S.H.I.E.L.D., right? Very end of S.H.I.E.L.D., we're going to say something here, is none of our team dies. Coulson's technically dead, right? But all the characters are there. We've never lost them. We lose people like Lincoln along the way, and it's like it kind of is easy to lose a character that no one liked in the first place. And it also kind of diminishes the whole future vision that Daisy has. But we're getting a little off topic. It's mostly to talk about how Lincoln, as much as he wants to believe that he can save Daisy and he's all desperate to save Daisy, his everything he does is like this brash thing. And in this, he has a chance to take this vaccine. He volunteers to have this vaccine used on himself. He feels it's the only way he can contribute. And when he's told no, he takes it anyway. I do also like that moment where you could kind of start to see a little bit more of Fitz and what's going to happen to him next season. More kind of shadows of Radcliffe a little bit. Like Radcliffe is the worst case scenario for Fitz. This, by the way. Now, they finally find Daisy. And the whole idea is this a trap or is part of her still fighting inside? Now, they both have good points. Coulson trying to say, this thing takes you over completely. It does not matter. But Max saying, she designed this stuff. It's like, did she suddenly start forgetting how this stuff works? Like, and poor Mac finds out too late that, she's not fighting it. And that's one of the things that this show kind of does right, is they take that cliche of the person who's taken over and really they're fighting inside. But Mac finds out too late that that's just not what is happening right here. And that turns the tables because we see that so often in shows where they somehow reach somebody, right? They somehow find that little thing that's holding them, that's like fighting inside, but no. And it's heart versus head time. Coulson's trying to use his head, Mac's trying to use his heart, and he kind of gets it too because even May says something to him like, why is everybody making this about themselves? What you didn't do and didn't do right. And that's true. We do have regrets when we screw up and we want to make things better. But if everybody that was going in a mission for whatever reason, military-wise, if they all just went in with their hearts on their sleeves, it would screw up. Like, you would get killed. And but they formulate this plan to go after and take out Hive. But again, it's like, it's episode 19. We have 3 episodes left. How do you think this is going to play out? There's also a little wink to Captain America Civil War coming up where Alveus brings up that, only billionaires can make iron suits. Only the military can make super soldiers, which will create its own war. And literally, it's like, I think the next episode is the tie-in sort of to the Sokovia Accords kicking in and Captain America Civil War happening. We get Radcliffe, who's really excited about doing these experiments. He's kind of scary in this fact that he's in a position where if he doesn't help, he'll die, but he's enjoying himself way too much. He's very Victor Frankenstein here. Where he makes a cocktail that is changing the DNA and creating Inhumans in one big quick punch. Now, as we see behind me, that before, it didn't work. And that scene where the guy melts is horrifying. They showed that on TV. It was great. I mean, I guess Raiders of the Lost Ark has been aired plenty of times, and I don't even think that they edit those scenes out anymore. The people going melting. But this was really good and effective on TV, and it was horrifying. And also totally awesome. This is also the first episode for Piper, played by Brianna Venskis. So big moment for her. The character, of course, is kind of starting out a little wobbly. They don't have much to do, our other agents. There's not the budget for it. I always thought that there should be more characters in the background that gets a little bit more screen time to make the shield that they feel a little more lived in. But in this, she's just kind of like the, oh my god, aliens, You know, she gets a lot more to do and becomes a lot more better, a lot more fleshed out of a character as much as you can be for a background character in this show. Kind of like Walking Dead, what she did there, you know. Give them just enough to care if something bad happens to them. Um, I talked about Lincoln. So they need the right ingredients. The reason the guy melts is because he doesn't have the ingredients, which he's scared to even say to Alveus because he's frightening. He could kill him, and him having to convince him to not kill him because of how much he believes and how much I want this to happen. This is a game changer. But what they need is live Kree blood. So while Shield's coming in there to, you know, stop all this, to take Hive out, not to rescue Daisy, even though that's Mac's agenda, they activate the device that we finally find out what that's for and what could kill him. And so it's kind of what we thought last episode is this like a life-ending thing that Alveus is afraid of. The only thing that can destroy me. What it really is the only thing he thinks can destroy him, which is bringing Kree Reapers down from orbit to take them out. Basically, they've been in stasis if this was ever necessary. They come and they take out Inhumans. That's their whole purpose. Kree life has that kind of thing where every Kree has a purpose, and these are only designed to take out Inhumans when they get out of control. And they even think of them as filth, even though they made them. Now, maybe the Reapers didn't make them, but they're programmed to just think that way. And so the Kree come. And this is pretty cool. All of a sudden, we've got Kree aliens coming down to Earth to take out any Inhumans that are in the area through this device. And that's what Alveus is actually afraid of, is the Kree Reapers coming and killing him. So for him to say that this is the only thing that can destroy him, it's the only thing that he knows of that can destroy him. So let's see. Lincoln has the vaccine. So again, we've got more experiments going on. I did really enjoy May going Hydra undercover to fool idiot James, who, again, admittedly, they write it in. The character isn't liked by people. It's why he moved. Admittedly himself says, I moved out to the middle of nowhere because people don't like me. And it's like, neither does the audience. Maybe you do. I don't. I don't think he's good at all. Also, this is where he spills the beans. May comes in, does a little May stuff. I don't know what that is. What is this? But he gets her to, she flirts with him enough to where he gives the plan up that Alveus is making Kree, or making Inhumans. And I'm sorry, but if you look at what May does to him, right? She cracks him over the back with a pool stick. He's a big guy, and even if it's supposed to look like she hit him in the back of the head, he's a big guy. People are hard to knock out, and I know this is a thing that has been going on forever in shows and movies of fall down, knocked out. This show usually does a better job at that kind of thing, and hitting somebody with a pool stick across the back does not knock you out. Okay? He goes down like in one of the most unconvincing falls on a pool table I've ever seen. Look, I love this show, but not everything about the things we love are perfect. And maybe I'm nitpicking, but I just, at the time, I'm like, come on, show. Have her really lay into him. I mean, really lay into him. Then it makes sense that he's knocked out. Let's see. Then we've got, the pool stick thing. The Kree device is active. They kill Inhumans, blah, blah, blah. Alicia. Now, again, this is where the budget, I feel like, comes into play. And I've talked about how, they haven't gone full multiple woman for this character. They only give her like one or two others. And is this the death of Alicia? Was that the original? Is she now dead? Because if the idea should be, damn, if you're not getting anything effectively done with one or two, maybe mob this guy. Maybe make like 50 of you. But again, is this budgetary? Or is this, this character needs to go. Let's make her stupid. Because, I mean, she is kind of stupid. Because she really should make a lot more to mob this Kree guy. 50 of you could probably at least slow him down. I didn't say kill. But yeah, if that's the end of Alicia, it could be. We usually see her like pop back up going, they killed him. We get a very fast fight with Daisy and the Reaper. It's still fun. She just breaks this guy down, cracks his spine, and tells Radcliffe, take it out of his neck. But Ben Mac shows up. And that, she's giving the spiel. We're going to make you inhuman. We're going to save you. And Mac, he really, just talk, she's trying to convince him, that the ideology of S.H.I.E.L.D. is wrong, that they made us this way, and just like everything else, the drug, the brainwashing, all the things that he's saying. Almost, this season at the end almost makes Daisy a weak character. Because you are pretty convinced that a part of her has bought into all this. And it's the credit to Chloe Bennett's acting that makes you question that. Is she being for real? Or is this the drug? Because her acting is so good here. She sounds so convincing. Now, you also have to remember she's basically become an addict. And how addicts will, be able to excuse their behavior, will be able to try to rationalize their actions. And this, it's like one of these extreme cases where it's like it takes what she wants for herself, what she's always been looking for, mixed with a drug in her brain that might not be letting her really say what she means. And this fight just basically, I thought this was the fight where she, is taken back to S.H.I.E.L.D., but like she has to be broken down, basically. Mac lets her beat the crap out of him. But all that it ends up happening is Mac almost dies. Daisy gets shot. And they get Mac out of there and take off as fast as they can. And in the end, she's still there. And not only that, but now she's volunteering to use her own blood because she's got the Kree blood, same as Coulson, in her system, which is something she probably should have led with, and it feels a little convenient that she never told Alveus, oh, you need Kree blood? Well, I got it right here. But instead they used it to like really, really hammer us over the head of how hopeless everything feels. So Daisy's still with Alveus, Mac is broken, and the antitoxin apparently didn't work on Lincoln either, so another failed experiment. And that's the title of this episode kind of lets you in on the whole thing, that none of this is going to work. It's all failed. And the only person who's winning still is Alveus. And now that he's got live Kree blood that he can use from her, that's also saying that she is willing to sacrifice her entire life to this guy who's now saying, you failed me. Maybe I was wrong about you and all this. Showing, if she had any side in her that was fighting, it would be right there. That this guy really does not care about anything but himself. And he'll say anything. And that's why Ward is a perfect host. That's why it's perfect that they always leave it on Ward's face. Because of the betrayal, of the constantly, how Ward would just say anything. Say any line of bullshit, himself. And so that's failed experiments. It's a hard episode to watch, especially by the end where you're just like, there's still no hope. And, with the next episode called Emancipation, I think Daisy, I don't even know. I want to say that this has got to be when Daisy comes back, or when they get her back to where she's going to have to go through her whole withdrawal from Hive. Because it is coming, folks. If you don't think so, she's in all the other seasons. It's just about how they get her out of there. And Talbot's back. Like I said, Sokovia Accords and everything. So, here we go again. Hopefully, we can start building towards the fight that will take out Alveus. It's got to start happening. So if you like this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. Otherwise, we'll be back with more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3. Old S.H.I.E.L.D. new reviews, everybody. And don't forget to check out D's reviews where we do monthly retrospectives of all Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And we're doing Agent Carter as well. So have a great day, everybody. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.